What's going on, everyone? So, I want to kind of play a game, and I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, of course, down in the comments below. So, play along with me by letting me know in the comments. Right? Walker Kessler, he would be excellent to have for the Lakers, and the beauty is he's only like $3 million, so he is incredibly easy to get. Now, in a perfect world, you just swap a Jackson Hayes and a first and go get Walker Kessler. That would be awesome, right? Or you do a bigger deal, right? Maybe it's a 3-team deal. Maybe you're taking on, a Colin Sexton or something like that. Boom. And then that's getting done, D'Lo and whatever, Reddish for those two. Clean, easy swap. Lakers get upgrades. Boom. There you go, right? But how far would we go to acquire Walker Kessler? And that's what I want to talk about. Obviously, not going to talk about LeBron and AD and, Reeves and all these guys to go get Walker Kessler. But I do want to kind of see where you guys are at. And so, for example, to start, right, like Jalen Hood-Schifino. I like Jalen Hood-Schifino. I know a lot of people are really low on Jalen Hood-Schifino, but I like his potential. I like his size. I like his athleticism. I like his versatility, right? We don't really have a ton of evidence whether he's great or terrible, right? I know a lot of people think he's a bust already when he averaged 3 minutes a game in garbage time last year. I can't really get to that point yet. Now we'll see what he does. We'll see what he develops. In the G League, he was tearing things up and looking great. Right? I understand G League's not the same as the NBA, but it's a good sign when he's better than everybody in the G League at 19 years old and his potential coming in the league. But you look at Utah. They have a flush of centers. That's one of the reasons why they want and potentially could move Walker Kessler, because they have, Hendricks and now Filipowski, and then you still have, John Collins and Lauri Markkanen, right? You have all these big men that are going to play various positions. You kind of got your backup center and a starting level center, or a guy that you believe could potentially be starting level center. You got your two power forwards, right? Like, they're fine in that regard. But you look at other key areas, a young guard could make a lot of sense. So you could do something where you swap a Jalen Hood-Schifino for a Walker Kessler. I wouldn't mind that at all. I would actually be all for that, even though I really like Jalen Hood-Schifino. You can't teach 7 feet, and Walker Kessler's already proven, right? He's already shown that he can play in this league. Now, can he play to the level in which they need the Lakers, the Lakers would need him to play? That I don't know. That we'll come and see. But he's 22, about to turn 23, or he might have just turned 23. Like, he's a guy that you have now and the future, right? Jalen Hood-Schifino, there's a lot of questions like, how much can he make an impact right now? I like his potential and his upside, and I do think he maybe potentially could help right now if the Lakers, make some key trades and unload some guards. But even as currently constructed, a center is in more demand than another guard is. So to me, that's a no-brainer, right? You swap those two and you're good, right? You get a center that is now a piece for now and the future, piece for now and the long haul, but can also make an impact right now for a team that has championship aspirations. Now, start going down the list, right? Would you trade like a Maxwell Lewis? Yeah, no questions, no doubt about it. You want Maxwell Lewis? Again, guy I'm super high on. He was actually the guy I wanted the Lakers to draft at 17. Even made videos about it, right? I like Maxwell Lewis. I know he was disappointing. He was very disappointing in that summer league. But again, he's got good size, good athleticism, good versatility out on the wing. He's shown that he can lock down defensively. I really like his potential and his upside as like that 3-and-D wing that you can bring off the bench or be a starter, right? Rotation guy. Need some work, but to me, again, no-brainer. Hey, you need some wing depth. There you go. But now you start getting into, kind of the trickier ones, right? Like, would you trade Dalton Knecht for Walker Kessler? A lot of people are really high on Dalton Knecht. Now, I know immediately people are going to say, I would rather trade Austin Reeves than Dalton Knecht. Trade Austin Reeves. Doesn't matter what we think. Doesn't matter how we feel about it. Point is, the Lakers, they're not going to trade Austin Reeves unless it's for a star-type player. They've made that clear enough as it is. That's why I don't want to dive into Austin Reeves and kind of go down the hypothetical of, is he somebody that trade? Now, Dalton Knecht, I do think for the right piece, they may end up looking to trade him. I'm not saying that they would, and it would have to be the right thing. Would they trade him for Walker Kessler? That I don't know. But it's not about what the Lakers would do. It's about what would you do. How far would you go with the realistic pieces at hand? Now, Dalton Knecht. I like Dalton Knecht a lot. Again, good size, good athleticism, can be a 3-level scorer, at least in the summer league level, right? Shown the ability to even make some plays. Again, you can't teach 7 feet. You can't teach the already proven skill set. Walker Kessler has already shown the ability to make plays out of the post, his ability to score around the rim, his ability to stretch the floor a little bit, which I believe he can continue to improve. He's also younger, right? Like, kind of go down the list, and it's like, yeah, to me, if the Utah Jazz were like, hey, we'll trade you Walker Kessler right now, we want Dalton Knecht. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't be trading Dalton Knecht and, 2 firsts and all this other stuff to go. Like, no. If you want Dalton Knecht, then we'll remove the protection, right? I'll remove the 2027 protection. Maybe you give up a pick swap or something, and you could have Dalton Knecht. I'm not giving you Dalton Knecht and a first unprotected and removing protections and all that stuff, right? Where Jalen Hood-Schifino, here you go. You have Jalen Hood-Schifino. I would give up a first in that deal, and I'd remove protections. But for Dalton Knecht, no, I wouldn't, right? He's already looked at as NBA ready. He's got a ton of upside and potential. He's a guy that I think could be a real quality, bare minimum rotation piece in this league, right? Jalen Hood-Schifino, the jury's still kind of out. I realize that. I understand that. It'd be a risk for Utah. You're hoping that he grows and molds and shapes into that guy that you want him to be, right? So I'd be willing to kind of give up to part because I want Walker Kessler that bad. But again, a Dalton Knecht, no. He has value. Like, if the Lakers put Dalton Knecht on the market right now, there would be teams calling to try to acquire him, right? Like, he has some value, and he hasn't even played a game yet. I understand that. So I would if you were basically just swapping the two, right? Like, hey, we have an abundance of centers. We would like some guards and some wings for the future. What do you think about Kessler for Knecht? If I'm the Lakers, I would do that. Right, I would. Again, I want to know what you would do down in the comments. Now, Max Christie. Talk about him. He's the guy that is tough for me personally because I really like Max Christie, and I actually think he is the few guys on the Lakers, if not the only guy, that has real star potential. Not talking about superstar. I'm not talking about top 10 player. I'm not talking about anything like that. But I'm talking about, like, you look at all the guys. Max Christie has already shown the ability to create for himself, create for others. He might already be, outside of Jared Vanderbilt, our best on-ball defender. He's also, like, the youngest on the roster, right? Like, I think it's like Jalen Hood-Schifino, but Bronny James, because he's technically on the roster too. Yeah. So, but like Max Christie is still incredibly young. He's a legit two-way guy. Shoots 40% on catch-and-shoot threes. I'm old enough to remember last year when he was locking down Damian Lillard and doing a great job on Devin Booker and stuff like that. Obviously, small sample sizes, but still, he was holding his own. The potential's there. I think out of everybody that's on the Lakers roster in the young category, Max Christie has the biggest upside. But I default to, it's really hard to find a good, skilled, talented big man like what Walker Kessler has shown, right? He still has a lot of growth, a lot of potential, a lot of development. Him and Max Christie are kind of in the same age range, right? Obviously, Kessler's slightly older, but he's not like 25 where it's like, no, this is a guy that you can have for the next 10 years at the center position. Right? I would be it would be tough, right? I'd be a little reluctant. But, again, it all boils down to cost, right? Like, if you can basically just swap the two, you also could clear a little salary because, again, Max Christie is making like $8 million now, right? So you clear $5 million off the books to go get some other guys and stuff like that, if you do pull off like the Jeremy Grant trade, stuff like that. So again, to me, it would depend on like what other moves are done, right? And if if we're being real, like Dalton Knecht is probably best slotted at the 2. So you have Reeves, you have Knecht. Yeah, could Knecht play the 3? Sure. Could Max Christie play the 3? Sure. But they're not really, they don't have like the real true 3 size, right? They're close, like their advantages would be best at the 2 spot. So to me, I think if you were to move off of Knecht or Christie, I think it would hurt. But I think it would be justifiable because you're filling another need that not only, again, helps now, but helps for the future, right? So, again, like Jalen Hood-Schifino, Maxwell Lewis, like those guys, I would give up immediately. I'm not going to mention Bronny James because even if the Lakers would be willing to, which, again, I like Bronny James. I actually am higher on Bronny James than a lot of people are. But if we're being honest, again, like I said, I don't want to really talk about the unrealistic trade targets, right? LeBron would never let them trade Bronny James, especially right now when this is the year that it's. So I'm not even going to mention Bronny James, but you kind of go down the list of all the other young guys, primarily Jalen Hood-Schifino, Maxwell Lewis. Those, no brainer, let's get it done. Beyond that, I look at, Max Christie, I think would be really tough because of his two-way talent, right? Where Dalton Knecht, again, I think offensively, Dalton Knecht should be able to plug in, but defensively could be a problem. Lakers didn't really have a problem with offense the last few years. It's been defense been the problem. So I would personally rather trade Knecht over Max Christie. That's just me personally. But again, it boils down, like, if you're just swapping guys, then fine. Right? Like, if you're just swapping Max Christie for a Walker Kessler, I would do that because, again, it's usually easier to find that rotation level, if not starting level guard, than it is center. There are very few high-quality centers in this league. There are an abundance of guards and wings. It's just finding the right guys, right? So to me, if you can lock up the center position, and now you never have to worry about the center position, at least for the next, 10 years or whatever, now you can focus on all the other areas, right? Now you can focus on, even when LeBron and AD and those guys ride off into the sunset, right? You still would have Walker Kessler, and you could go find that guard or two. Right? Maybe it's a Cade Cunningham later on down the road or something. Just a name that popped in my head, right? Maybe it's somebody like that. So to me, again, I just think it boils down to if you can get the center, get the center. I would pretty much trade anybody to get Walker Kessler just because, again, I think the impact now and the future is too much to pass up on. And again, you can find other needs. Would I trade Reeves and all these other guys? Probably. But I just don't think the Lakers would do that. So I'm not going to really explore that idea. But as always, again, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Who would you trade and give up for Walker Kessler? Are you kind of in the camp where you're like, I would trade anybody? No, kind of rank them for me. Who in the order? Like for me, Jalen Hood-Schifino, he's yours. Maxwell Lewis, he's yours. I would probably even put Maxwell Lewis because I like Jalen Hood-Schifino's versatility more. Personally. So I'd probably go Lewis, Hood, Knecht, and Christie for me, personally. That's the order in which I would be willing to trade them. What's the order for you? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.